staying out the rest of the last bit of the bank slalom. We're still roughing it in with the tracks. Between us and the cat, there's like 6 turns. That's incredible. Should be a real challenge.
It's a cold start to the morning. It's currently 5 degrees under cloudy skies. The forecast calls for temperatures to rise into the mid-20s with skies clearing by midday. It should be great weather for the start of the Vermont Open high atop Stratton Mountain.
I was fortunate enough to get involved in snowboarding in a very early age when the sport was just in its infancy. I went to Stratton Mountain School, had a very colorful career in a sport that was brand new. The sport really started to ramp up. Late 80s, early 90s. I consider Stratton Mountain arguably the birthplace of competitive snowboarding.
I think, having a big snowboard event at Stratton is just something that's, since I was a little kid, they've always had. They've always had the US Open and events, and one of the first mountains to really promote snowboarding, have a half pipe. I mean, to have the Vermont Open and still have a big snowboard event, it's just something that kind of goes hand in hand with the name.
The Vermont Open came from an evolution of the Washed Up Cup. For 30 years, Burton US Open was here at Stratton Mountain. About 6 years ago, I approached Stratton in the shadows of the US Open and organized the first Washed Up Cup. Really trying to take advantage of the fact that there was a lot of formerly pro legends, washed up, whatever you want to call them, were in town as agents, coaches, spectators. And we had a really successful event. When Burton pulled the US Open and moved it to Vail, Stratton approached me and said, "Hey, do you plan to keep the Washed Up Cup here?" And I really couldn't envision the Washed Up Cup being anywhere else. And matter of fact, I think we should evolve it into the Vermont Open and open it up to juniors, amateurs, pros, and legends.
Vermont Open carries on the tradition of the US Open. A lot of us did that and came to that growing up and loved that. And then, the Vermont Open now kind of gives all the, local kids getting into it, legends, everyone a chance to come out and have a good time, be competitive and have fun. So that's what it's all about.
The idea is to continue this community event and allow these kids an opportunity to show their stuff to the world stage. Up-and-comers can compete alongside of existing pros and existing legends. And it's really turned out to be a great mix and a heck of a lot of fun. At the Vermont Open, there'll be several events. You'll have rail jam, half pipe, big air, a snurfer challenge, and the big event, the bank slalom.
First and foremost, want to welcome everyone to the 2nd annual Vermont Open.
Right now we're doing the rail jam, getting ready. Looks like it's going to be a pretty good competition. A lot of high caliber riding, young and old. Hopefully some of the legends will throw down for us today too. We got Ross Powers here. It's more about getting out and having fun, meeting new people, riding with a bunch of new faces. I like to see the young kids come up. I'm excited.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out on this beautiful day at Stratton Mountain. Still a lot of action going on here today.
I don't know about you spectators, but these jumps look awfully big. These guys are catching some big air.
I hope we can see this event continue to grow. There's certainly a hole left in Vermont, so to speak, or the East when the US Open moved west, so to be able to try to fill that with the Vermont Open and get back to the roots. And I think you're seeing that with the support, the growth we saw just this year to be, 250 competitors is incredible.
Man, overall, the Vermont Open was amazing. The local community came out in force and we had a ton of fun. So really, we achieved the goal, which was to create a platform where young kids could come together, whether they're a first-time competitor, an amateur, a pro, or a legend. I really am pleased with the way things turned out, and everyone walked away a winner.